Hello, I'm Mark Banham, reporting for M&M Global. I'm here with Steve Allan, who is the Chief Executive worldwide of Mediacom, in their lovely palatial suite in Cannes, which they've invited us
I
up
hope
to,
the clients aren't hearing this, by the way. I get the wrong idea about Mediacom. I wouldn't want that.
If you could single out one market, Steve, that's really impressed you over the last, say, 12 months, what would it be? I'm sure you probably think of two or three, actually, to be honest.
If I think about it regionally, I think we're performing particularly well. We have been in Asia. Certainly some very strong agencies there, and actually some of our very best work in the network coming from those markets. And there's no reason I should be surprised about that. I mean, Asia is now a significant part of our business and will continue to grow, I think, extremely fast, driven in some cases by extraordinarily large populations. I mean, certainly in Southeast Asia, for example.
Sure.
Media performances remain strong in markets like Germany, where I think yesterday again we were voted Agency of the Year. The UK, but the Nordics, Poland.
Virtually everywhere.
Well, not everywhere. I think it's just very hard for me to say that there's one market, Australia, another market. I mean, we have some very strong market leading positions in many of those places. I think, honestly, my job as global head, if you like, is to try and raise the bar, the average across the group. And that's the biggest challenge, and that's what I see my mission. I mean, I want, in an ideal world, all our offices to be as good as each other, but sometimes conditions don't allow that. It could be talent pools, could be technology, could be economies, could be client issues. So, you know.
Well, let's talk about a specific territory. Let's talk about there's a tiny little event going on in Brazil at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, you can't see it, it's off camera, but there is a large screen where the World Cup matches are being shown.
Yeah.
As far as the World Cup is concerned, how have clients been Mediacom clients been reacting to the World Cup? Have they asked you to do specific things? Have they upped spend? What's been their reaction to?
I think I mean, we have some clients who are main sponsors of the tournament. So, for example, that would be Sony and Coca-Cola. So clearly they are heavily involved, and much of the work that we will be doing is to support their sponsorship and activating the sponsorship and the investment that they've actually made in the tournament. At a local level, yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing increased levels of spending behind the tournament, which we would expect. So I'm not in any way surprised about that, and particularly always against certain demographics, the obvious one being young men. We're going to see that. And I think the good thing, I have to say, the good thing about the World Cup is that it is still on mainstream media. And you know, we all know now, certainly in some markets, football or soccer has moved to pay TV.
Sure.
And it's definitely driven success for companies like Sky, who we know well. But I think, you know, I was actually quite pleased that I could arrive here, put on my TV in the bedroom, and know with some certainty that I was going to get the games.
Sure.
And when it comes to, I've been in countries, I'm travelling on business, and it's Champions League, that's not always the case. So I think overall, I mean, we'll have to see the numbers. I mean, some of the early viewing figures that I saw in some markets were good.
Sure.
And as we know, as the tournament goes on, the viewing figures in some countries will tend to rise exponentially.